no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.
Hey, what's going down, sports fans? Cappers all around the world. It is your boy, Marley Bets, back with you live with another video from Brothas N Bets. What's going down, people out there? Let me get this lighting together a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. What's going down, good people out there? Back at it again, doing what the fuck we do. That is bet on sports here at Brothas N Bets. Let's do a quick recap. Yesterday's action, yesterday's show. Your boy went 2-2 yesterday. Subpar by my standards. I'm disappointed. But we'll take a 500 day over a losing day any day of the week. But for my standards, personally, we always can do better. We lost on the what did we lose on? The Mavs. Let me go back. Let me look at it. Yeah, we lost on the Mavs and Pistons not covering. Thought we'd get a good cover there. Mavs just blew them out at the end, 131-113. But we hit those Knicks in Nets game, coming back from a 21-point deficit, I believe. Watched that one. KD and Kyrie at the end of the game started to take over. Knicks couldn't hold up. We killed Boston -7. That was easy money over the Bulls. Bulls are coming off a back-to-back. And we lost goddamn Clippers. They won, but they didn't cover with all those guys out for the Suns. Still couldn't get it done, but they got the victory. Like I said, end of the season, do they really care about winning by 6-7 points? It's not like they were trying to send a message. The Suns didn't even have nobody playing for that message to be sent. So, like I said, both of those teams are pretty much locked in at their spots. So it wasn't like a bunch of, motivation to play for other than the Clippers. Paul PG just came back. Playoff P, as I now call him, because we wasn't calling him that not too long ago. But anyway, so, he just came back. So other than working on chemistry, getting him back into the lineup, getting his feet back under him, getting conditioned, it wasn't really nothing for them to work on or play on. So overall, though, we only 2 shows in. It's the third show of the NBA season, getting ready to gear up for those playoffs. We did do some earlier shows early in the year, but with college, I think NFL was still going on. College basketball was starting up. It was just too much I couldn't come here properly prepared and give boys information or even good picks. So kind of just decided to hold off on the NBA show till the playoffs started. Now that college basketball is wrapped up, obviously NFL is being wrapped up. Jumping into this NBA live, and then we got MLB will be coming around the corner soon. Well, opening day is today, but I'll start doing the MLB show here soon. Going to backdoor the NBA show. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing 2 shows a day as much as I can for you guys. Always trying to find the best angles on that baseball. I love betting on baseball. For me, baseball and like hockey are like the most profitable sports. Not the most popular, but most profitable by far, at least for me in my case. But let's get to the reason that we are here today, because that's all yesterday's news, and that is to cap these NBA cards today. I got 4 games again on the docket, another little 4-piece. Going to start the day off with the West Coast game. We got the Memphis Grizzlies. They're going on the road to take on the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic, MVP candidate. The line is at -4.5. The total is at 233. Let's look at the injury report for the Grizzlies. We got Dylan Brooks. He's questionable. Ja's been out. Obviously, he has the knee injury. He's been out for a couple games. Culliver, he's questionable. Terry has been downgraded to out, and Tilly has been downgraded to out as well. Let's look on the Nuggets side. Green, he's questionable. Murray's been out. Kanker's been out. Porter's been out. And Najee, he's been out for a couple games as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. He's downgraded to out as well. Let's look at the couple actual factuals and trends. For the Grizzlies, they're 6-1, 6-1-1. ATS in their last 8 games, 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games. 6-1 ATS in their last 7 games against Denver. 10-5 straight up in the last 15 games on the road. 1-6 straight up in their last 7 games when playing on the road against Denver. The total has gone over in 5 of their last 6 games against an opponent from the Northwest Division. Let's look at the Nuggets. They're 2-5 ATS in their last 7 games, but 4-2 straight up in their last 6. 1 ATS in their last 9 games at the crib, but 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games when playing at home against Memphis. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games against an opponent from the Western Conference. In the total, it's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games against an opponent from the Southwest Division. Under in 5 of the last 7 games against Memphis, but over in 7 of the last 10 this season. Also over in 8 of the last 11 games this season. So we have Memphis on the road taking on the Nuggets. I just read off all the actual factuals. The line's at -4.5. The total is at 233. And me personally, gonna have to go with, all right, so look, I think the Nuggets are going to win the game. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to double check this right now. The Grizzlies have beat them the last 3 times. They're trying to sweep the season in head-to-head games, which I got this from my boy Money. Well, I didn't get this from my boy Moneyline, but my boy Moneyline brought this to my attention a few weeks ago when Miami played Boston in Boston. Boston was going for the sweep. They had beat Miami 3 times in a row. It's hard to sweep a team in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one thing that's hard to do, just like in a division in the NFL. It's hard to sweep a team. You know, it's just the team knows you so well. Y'all play so many times inside and out. So I do believe that the Nuggets will win this game. The question is, do they cover? And even with all the injuries on the Memphis side, they still been playing good basketball. They won 4 out of their last 5. I took them against Utah. They had that game and gave it up at the end and missed the cover about 1 point. Very disappointing. Might I add, that was one of my losses. That was my only loss on my 3-1 day, first day of the show. But I'm going right back to the well. I'm not afraid of it. I'm going to take the points again here. I think they corrected. This team is locked. They're they don't really have nothing to play for. They're already locked in. Most of the young people are playing anyway, but Denver just doesn't cover games, and that's the thing. I want to take Denver because they're gonna win the game. I just Jokic is still playing for the MVP, but they're banged up as well too. They got injuries all over the place, but they're 1-8 ATS in their last 9 games at home. That's just not. It's not going to get it done for your boy. And even in the last 3 games head to head, like I said earlier, yeah, Memphis beat them. They're 3-0 this season, with the last game being on January 21st. So it's been a couple months, but they were dogs. Memphis was, and they won outright by 4 points. They were 3.5 dogs. They out rebounded them by 11 points. 11 points, 11 rebounds, excuse me. So for me, I'm going to take the points with the Grizz 4.5, although I do think the Nuggets get this game because, I just don't think the motivation is going to be there for Memphis. Not necessarily for the Nuggets. I think they're locked in what they can do. But like I said, Jokic is still trying to get the MVP. Him and Embiid and Giannis are 3-headed. They're in a 3-man race for the MVP. So he's still playing in that game. So put your boy on the Grizz plus the points here. Grizz. I really wish I could get 5 instead of 4 though. Yeah, that was some bullshit. I don't know how that happened, but that was my mistake. I pressed the wrong button, trying to put my down plays in. But with that being said, let's keep it moving. Plus 4.5. Let's keep it moving. The next game that we have on the docket is we got the San Antonio Spurs. They're going on the road to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The line opened up at, or I'm going to say opened up, the line is currently at the Spurs plus 7.5. The total is at an extremely high 240 right now. Man, that's high. But if you've been watching the Timberwolves games, you will know that shit. They just be scoring. There's no defense played at all here in Minnesota right now. But they're doing their thing. So with that being said, let's look at the game. Let's dive into it a little bit. Let's look at the injury report right now. And for the Spurs, is Murray still out? For the Spurs, McDermott's been out. Murray is downgraded to out. Walker is questionable. Langford has been upgraded to probable. Vasil is probable, and Landale has been downgraded to out. So the Spurs, they've been had a host of injuries last couple games, but they still been playing really, really good basketball. Minnesota, Beverly is questionable. Beasley is probable, and McDaniels is questionable. So let's look at these actual factuals for San Antonio. 7-1 ATS in their last 8 games. 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games. However, 0-7 ATS in their last 7 games against Minnesota. 2-5 straight up in their last 7 games against Minnesota. But they're 5-0 on the road in their last 5 games. But 1-6 ATS in their last 7 games when playing on the road against Minnesota. 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games this season. 7-1 straight up in their last 8 games against an opponent from the Western Conference. And the total has gone under in 7 of their last 9 games. Minnesota, they're 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games. 13-6 straight up in their last 19 games. 15-4 straight up in their last 19 games at home. 6-1 ATS in their last 7 when playing at home against San Antonio. 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games this season. 11-2 straight up in their last 13 games against an opponent from the Western Conference. And the total has gone under in 4 of their last 6 games against an opponent from the Southwest Division, but over in 4 of their last 5 games and over in 8 of the last 12 games against the San Antonio Spurs. So we got the Spurs going on the road to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. The line is at 7.5. And I've been riding this Spurs wave here for the last couple of games. I'm not jumping off this train. They have, when I say everything to play for, they have everything to play for. They're in 10th right now. They're barely in the playoff game. Well, the Lakers are already eliminated. So I guess I can't say they have everything to play for because technically they're locked into that 10th spot. Lakers aren't going to catch them. I guess they can move into the 9th spot. I don't know if that makes much of a difference. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. You're still in the same playoff spot as you are with New Orleans, who can't move up to the 8th spot. So I'm pretty sure they're locked in at 9 and 10, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So for Minnesota, on the other hand, they're locked into the 7th seed. Clippers can't catch them, and I don't think they can catch Denver. They're 2 games back. I think they would need them to lose tonight, and I believe there's one more game left. I'm not sure who owns the tiebreaker in that scenario. But for me, like these last couple games, so let's keep this in mind, everybody. These last couple games, man, it's late in the season. Playoff seeds are clinched. This is like, pickup basketball almost for a lot of teams. So we got to be careful in Like, I'm not laying huge amounts of money on none of this shit because the playoffs are about to start. These last couple games, man, we don't know what the fuck gonna happen, especially in a game like this. Like, Timberwolves are pretty much locked in. I don't think they can catch Denver. There's 2 games left. I think they're 2 games back. I'm not sure who owns the tiebreaker. The Spurs, they're locked in at 10. There's nothing they can do. Can't move up, can't move down. They've just been playing good basketball. And I feel like 7.5 points is just really too many points for an NBA game because NBA players can make shots. They're all good. Don't let that nigga sorry talk fool you when you're drunk and watching the game. So, Spurs have been playing really good basketball. I've been on that for a couple days now, or at least a couple games rather. They've won 4 out of their last 5, with that only loss coming to Memphis late, 112, 111. And they just beat Denver 116-97. So I'm gonna back the Spurs here plus the 7.5. Maybe I'll sprinkle something on the money line, but like this, like I said, we keeping this shit light around here. It's this like the last game of the season, so or you got like 2 games left, so you know we're not just jumping all the way out the water here. We're gonna keep our eye on shit, and we're gonna let it play out and get ready to gear up for these playoffs where we're gonna make a killing. But with all said and do purposes for the show, for the people, I'm personally on the Spurs plus the 7.5. I want to take a stab at that total, man. 240 is high, but the Spurs have been playing some defense, but Minnesota gets buckets, period. Straight buckets. All right. So with that being said, though, put me on the 7.5, and let's go ahead and keep it moving. The next game we have on the docket is we're gonna do the Celtics at the Bucks. Um, got the Boston Celtics. They're going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Bucks and MVP candidate Giannis Antetokounmpo. That line opened up at the Bucks -7. The total is at 228 right now. Let's go look at the injury report. Very, very important right now. Horford, he's downgraded to out. Smart is probable. Stauskas, he's downgraded to out. Tatum's out. And Williams, he's been out 4 to 6 weeks. We all know that. I think he's his second week right now. Giannis is probable. Bembry is out. And Allen is doubtful. Allen is doubtful. All right, so Giannis is probable. That's key. I need Giannis to be playing in this game. Let's look at the actual factuals. Boston, they're 8-3 ATS their last 11 games, 14-3 straight up in their last 17 games, 6-0 ATS in their last 6 games against Milwaukee, 4-2 straight up in their last 6 games against Milwaukee, 13-2 straight up in their last 15 road games, 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games this season, and their total has gone over in 10 of their last 14 games against an opponent from the Eastern Conference, over in 5 of the last 5 games they're playing on the road against Milwaukee, and over in 8 out of their last 10 games. For Milwaukee, 11-5 ATS in their last 16 games, 13-5 straight up in their last 18 games, 6-2 straight up in their last 8 games at the crib, 7-0 ATS in their last 7 games against an opponent from the Eastern Conference, 5-2 ATS in their last 7 games when played on a Thursday, for those of you that are into those kind of stats. The totals, it's gone over in 4 of the last 5, over in 7 of the last 8 against Boston, over in 5 of the last 5 against Boston at home, over in 4 of the last 6 this season. So you have the Celtics, no Jason Tatum, going on the road to take on the Bucks at -7. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't know how the Celtics match up. I mean, how they hold up against the Bucks without Tatum, especially with the game that's, I mean, realistically, what's really on the line here? Boston's at 2. They're 1 game back. Do either of them care about the 2 or the 3 seed? Like right now, if you get the 2 seed, you're going to end up with Cleveland or maybe Brooklyn, and maybe I think that's about as high as I can see. You're going to get Cleveland or Brooklyn. I don't think Boston's scared of any one of those teams. I guess if you want to avoid KD and Kyrie, maybe you think about that. At 3, you're matched up with Chicago. I probably, if you ask me personally, I probably would want to stay in the 3 seed if I was Milwaukee. But Milwaukee's not scared of nobody. I think that they'll take on the Nets. They don't care. They wouldn't beat them. They feel like they beat them last year, so I definitely can see that happening. I'm going to take the over, guys. Y'all heard all those over stacks. Over 228. I think this is low. Even with the Celtics, they've been scoring a lot. 117 in their last game against Chicago, 144 against Washington, 128 against Indy. Obviously, Miami is Miami. They're going to play defense. 98, they lost that game. In the Bucks, all their games have been going 230s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Their last 5 games all have been over 230 easily, with 4 out of the last 5 of Boston games going over 230. So I know Tatum's not playing, maybe like where you get the points from, but I don't think the defensive intensity is going to be just ramped up this game, even though it's a nationally televised game on TNT today. So me personally, I like the over here. I feel like that's the best play just because, like I've been saying, it's the end of the season, y'all. We don't know the intensity that we're going to get in these games. We don't know how hard they're going to play, how much they really care, who's gearing up for the playoffs, who's not, who's resting. All that stuff is, it's kind of hard to go on. So me for this game, I think, because I think both teams they don't care whether they're third or second. I don't think it matters. They're just gearing up for the playoffs. So I like the over here. I think it'll be less defense, a lot more on the entertainment side, especially with it being a nationally televised game. I think we'll get more entertainment than hard-nosed defense and people trying to make stops. So give me the over. Plus, you heard off all the overs that the Bucks have been doing in their last 10 games, over in 4 out of the last 5, over in 7 out of the last 8 against Boston, over in 5 of the last 5 when playing at home against Boston, over in 4 of the last 6, just over. So I'm going to be all over the over tonight in Boston and Milwaukee. All right. So we got one more game on today's docket before I wrap it on up and get my ass up out of here. I hate doing the show by myself because I gotta fucking do everything. So we had some things I planned on today for the show, but Tom kind of got behind, got away from me, and shit happens. Other people, shit happens. They got lives too. So I'm not talking about the coach. I'm talking about somebody else that's supposed to be joining the show. Hopefully we can get them on the show tomorrow or next week. I think I got Flat Top coming on the show next week. Flat Top's always reliable. So with that being said, though, let's get on to this last game that we got on the docket, and that is the 76ers going on the road to take on one of the NBA's hottest teams right now, and that is the Toronto Raptors. Let's look at moving too fast. Look at the line. It is the Raptors are home dogs at 1.5. The total is at 220. And let's look at the injury report real quick. Thibault's the only one out for Philly, and for Toronto, and Anunoby and Wannabe are both listed as doubtful. Philly, let's look at their actual factuals. They're 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games, but 8-4 straight up in the last 12. 1-4 ATS in the last 5 against Toronto. 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games on the road. 3-17 straight up in their last 20 games when playing on the road against Toronto. 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games this season. 11-5 straight up in their last 16 games against an opponent from the Eastern Conference, and the total has gone over in 6 of Philly's last 9 games. Toronto, they're 11-4 ATS in their last 15, 6-1 straight up in their last 7, 5-1 straight up in their last 6, 17-3 straight up in their last 20 games when playing at home against Philly. 5-2 ATS in their last 7 games, 6-2 ATS in their last 8 games against an opponent from the Atlantic Division. And the total's gone under in 9 of their last 12 games against an opponent from the Eastern Conference, under in 12 of the last 18 games against Philly, under in 13 of Toronto's last 19 games. All right. And there you have it. This one's kind of tough for me because, again, we don't know the motivation of either one of these teams right now, right? Toronto is in 5th, Philly is in 4th. So this is a possible playoff preview if everything stays the same, 4th and 5th seed. Obviously, I'll take Philly in that matchup. But as far as tonight goes, and that's going to determine a lot because you have to be vaccinated to play in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Philly has vaccination issues or not, but that's going to be issues for people that have to travel up there. Sixers are on a 3-game win streak, albeit Charlotte, Cleveland, and Indiana, 2 playoff teams, well, 1 in the possible. Toronto, 4 out of their last 5, with the only loss coming to Miami, including the overtime victory against Boston. Just beat a hot Atlanta team. This is a tricky game. I want to take Toronto. I think it means more to them than it does to Philly. I really do believe that. I think Philly's more focused on they got to do what they need to do for the playoffs. I don't care about the regular season. Nothing's going to happen in the regular season for them. It's all about what can you do for the playoffs. What have you done for the playoffs? What are you doing for me in the playoffs? I don't give a shit about the regular season. I came here to win a championship. It's not even the playoffs. It's we came here to win a championship. So do we care about this last game? Even though we might be playing this team? Like, are we trying to send a message? I don't think so. I don't think so. So I think for Philly, though, young team, I mean, for Toronto, young team playing in Toronto, Scotty Barnes still trying to get rookie of the year. Probably got that locked up already. Um, but you've been rolling at home. Like I said, young team, probably want to keep that going. I don't think Toronto really cares. I don't think they care that much at all. And with that being said, I'm taking the Raptors to win money line at the crib. First half seems really nice. I'm really tempted. I'm really tempted by that first half. But I'm taking him to win the game. Because I think if he kind of gets away, I don't think Philly really cares that much. I don't think they tripping about this game, win or lose. You know, we're in 4th, we're in 5th, play whoever, first round, whatever. Our goal is a championship. That's not the Raptors' goal. They're not winning championship. They're just trying to play, get in as far as they can, get into the playoffs, and hope for the best and get as far as they possibly can, and that's a successful season. Philly, on the other hand, they trying to win a championship. They don't care about this game. I don't think they care at all. So if they win it, cool. If they don't, I don't think they give a shit. I think it's more like, you know, this is a possible 4 or 5 matchup scenario in the East. So like, what? I don't even think they got a message to send. Like I said, I think they're focused on trying to win the championship. And the Raptors, they're focused on just getting in the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens type deal. So this game will mean more to them. Maybe try to deliver like it's not going to be as easy as you think type message. But for the most part, I don't think Philly cares about this game too much. There's other things they're working on. Like I said, their goal is to win the championship. So Put me on the Raptors here for a money line victory to get on up out of here. Start the day off right. This is going to be one of the earlier games because it's in Toronto. Yeah, 6:30 start. So, yep. I'll let your boy. That's it for the day. Give out the overall record real quick. 5-3 on the first 2 shows. Only did 2 shows in NBA. Just getting off college for the season. So sitting at 5-3, I'll take it. We all right. 2 games over. These are the plays that I have for today. We got the Grizzlies plus the 4.5. They're in Denver. I almost said Detroit. We got the Spurs plus the 7.5. They're going them up to Minnesota. I got the over 228. I don't know where I get that 220 from. Over 228. Oh, no, it's 220. Let's look at that line. The over in the Boston and Bucks game, which is 228. So I don't know where that 220 came from. It's 228. Take that over. And then we are ended with the last play I gave out is the Raptors money line. And that is it. That's all I got for today, people. Really quick show, 4 plays for you guys. And then your boy had to get out of here. So, like yesterday, like the day before that, and like tomorrow, as always, this is Brothas N Bets. I am Marley Bets. And y'all know what it is, man. Y'all know what the motto is. Let's beat Vegas. You know what? We out this
Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay.